Emotion and Motivation by Rachel, Kayla, and Anne-Marie. Our study is on emotion and motivation. The focus of our study is to find how an individual's emotions or opinions towards a person affects their motivations to help said person when given the opportunity. The studies we used as references to help us were C. Daniel Batson's study, Is Empathetic Emotion a Source of Altruistic Motivation? This study tested subjects' altruistic motivation as a result of empathetic emotion by focusing on whether or not students would be willing to replace a girl being given electrical shocks. The second study we looked at was the video we watched previously in class by Stanley Schachter, which tested subjects' desires to be alone or in groups after inducing great anxiety upon them. This focused on whether or not students wanted to be with others before presumably experiencing electric shocks. For our study, we will have 300 psychology students from Santa Clara University. As an incentive to participate, participants will receive SOTA credit. There will be 3 groups which will be randomly selected and assigned with roughly 100 students in each group. Our first group will be a control group with a neutral research conductor that will not display any outward emotions towards the students or their assistant. Next will be a group with a fear-inducing instructor. The instructor will be aggressive and unfriendly towards the students and will yell at and be mean to their assistant as a survey is passed out. Our last group will have an outwardly sad and pitiful instructor. As the surveys are being passed out, the instructor will share a personal story about something tragic that recently happened to them.
The students will take a survey that will be unrelated to the study and will not reveal any information about the true nature of the study. It will ask for basic information about the student, such as their age, sleep habits, diet, and exercise habits. The study will finish sooner than the students are expecting, and after the students have finished filling out the surveys, the assistants will take the surveys and leave. The instructor will then ask if anyone is willing to stay for an extra 5 to 10 minutes to help them put away their supplies, their pens, papers, etc. We will record the amount of students that do decide to stay and help their instructor and what group they were in. After the students volunteer or do not volunteer, the instructor will reveal the true nature of the study and provide an additional survey asking the students why they did or did not volunteer to help and what their emotions were towards the teacher throughout the study. The study will end sooner than the students are expecting to avoid students not helping because they have other commitments after the study ends. The purpose of our control group is so that we can have an estimate of how many people would help someone when no emotions are induced. We will use the same instructor each time to lower the chances that students will have a different opinion based on a differing age, sex, or race. We will also tell the students beforehand that the instructor giving up the survey is a guest lecturer and that the lecturer will be leaving Santa Clara after conducting the study. We are doing this so students do not have an added incentive to help the instructor out of fear that they will never see them again.
We propose people will be more likely to stay and help the person they pity over the person they are afraid of, because certain drives generate tendencies toward avoidance, a disposition away from certain stimuli like rude people. But overall, they are more likely to help a person who generates an emotional response from them over a neutral response. Our strengths included sample size because it is representative of the population, and random sample and selection help account for extraneous variables. Our weaknesses include that students may be dishonest about why they did or did not help, and that a student's mood that day can affect the way they perceive the instructor and their decision to help. Based on Batson and Stanley Schachter studies, we believe that the students will be more inclined to help the instructor that they pity. Batson's study showed us how pity affects people and to what extent they are willing to help. Schachter's study showed us that the attitudes and language used by the instructor does have an effect on the students. We chose the emotions pity and fear because they are both negative valence emotions, pity having low arousal and fear having high arousal.